if there was one thing that I used to be terrible at when I was younger, it had to have been speaking to girls, right? Back then, when I was around 13 to 14 years old, I was the reincarnation of the word cringe, right? I used to still have this behavior of a 10, 11-year-old. I used to do all kinds of crazy shit on the lunch break, right? And whilst this behavior didn't get me that much attention to begin with, self-explanatory enough, the times when it did, oh boy, I think I found every possible way I could to fumble up a relationship like this, right? To fumble up a girl. I'm an expert at fumbling girls, okay? So you're in the right place to talk about that. And I remember the one time, I believe I was around 20 to 2021. No, it had to have been 2021 to 2022, but that's irrelevant, right? I was texting this girl, right? And in that point in time, I really wanted to meet up with her, right? I remember I was a dumb 13, 14-year-old kid, zero experience. I believe this was probably the first time when I actually wanted to meet up with a girl, like for real, right? And I remember my strategy, I looked at it like if it was a video game strategy almost, where I was coming up with this master plan, right? What I did is simply text her every day, multiple times throughout the day. Now, on its own, this isn't a bad thing at all, right? As long as both of you are actually interested, the amount of time that you spend texting with each other doesn't really matter. Some people like to use texting to only schedule calls or meetups. Some people like to text whenever they're free. But the issue is that when you are the only one interested and the other side is like barely texting you, right? They're just responding to you. They're not actually starting anything first. This is where you can come off as really desperate, and that's exactly what I did. I wasn't talking to her to actually get anywhere. I wasn't talking to her to get closer to knowing her better or to get closer to like meet up with her, schedule a date, whatever. I was just texting her for the sake of texting. Just to like suppress this feeling of loneliness I had in the back of my mind, right? Just to like text her for the sake of texting. There's no better way to word it, right? I used to just send whatever I had in my mind, the most random thing, the most irrelevant thing. I remember at one point, if I really didn't have anything to say, I would just send her damn Minecraft memes, right? This is how desperate I was. And how long do you think I kept doing that before I actually like asked her out, before I asked her if she wants to meet up? Weeks? Month? 2 months? 3 months? 4 months? Brother, half a fucking year. A solid 6 months if I'm correct, right? It took me a long time to actually finally get the courage to finally like grab the phone and input the right letters on my keyboard, right? It took me a lot of time to actually find the courage to do it. But once I did, after 6 months, right? 6 months of just texting her the most random bullshit, she said no. Looking back at it now, I kind of can't help but to like smile and cringe at the same time, right? Because back then it was a big hit for me. Like it hit my ego, but it hit my feelings as well, right? And there was a period of time where I literally remember laying in this very bed, almost sobbing, like literally like, just because I thought I lost the girl that I thought I'm gonna be like long term with. Even though I was just texting her, right? This is the best freaking part. Like, it wasn't going anywhere, right? It's just how I envisioned it in my mind, that I've already pre-written this potential scenario that didn't have the odds to happen, right? Because I was living in my mind. I wasn't living on the real world. This is what's so funny. So, if there are 2 lessons that I wanted to give you this video, first one has to be the fact that you need to stop being so damn desperate. At least stop showing it, right? Because girls find that annoying. You're giving them the energy of the annoying 14-year-old, right? So please keep this in mind. About like texting and like messaging her in general, I really don't think it doesn't matter how often you text her, as long as the messages actually get you anywhere. Because a lot of people use texting differently, right? Some people, as I said, they text purely to meet up, to schedule calls, meetups, whatever. Some people text whenever they're free. But the issue starts when you are the only one texting first. this is where it gets a little bit tricky, right? Because the number one rule, never ever double text, right? This video isn't about texting, but this is just the one thing that I need to throw in there. If you send a message and she doesn't read it, wait. Don't fucking double text, triple text, because that's what I used to do. If I didn't get a response within a few minutes, I think I would poke a hole in my phone with my finger. That's how much I would be texting, right? Please. You're just giving this annoying vibe that you have like no attention. And people just don't like needy people in general. It's not just with girls. This is something that we all find annoying. You know, this one friend, or maybe I can put this from your perspective. Do you remember the one time where you have that one friend who you loved spending time with, but he didn't really text you anytime? For me, it was the gym, right? I know a lot of people who I work out with, who I meet at the gym, but I don't do anything with them outside of the gym, right? This is just being honest. But I'm just being honest here. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people who I'm cool with at the gym, who I text outside of the gym, who I see as cool, who I talk to, and they are my friends. But then there's also the few people who I text first. We like to talk. Like, once I text them, it's cool, it's fun. But they would have never texted me first. They would have never actually initiated anything with me if it wasn't for my effort, right? And it's the same thing with girls. It's like once you start to care too much in a way, that's when it becomes annoying. Now, keep in mind, we're only talking about the entrance stage, right? I'm not some relationships coach. I'm here to tell you how to actually get girls, right? And this is the mistake that I want you to avoid. Stop being so damn desperate. At least stop showing it, right? Just have a little bit of self-control. Don't text her as long as like get the opportunity to. This gets me to the second point, is be direct with what you say to her. This matters very significantly, right? Because let's look back at what I used to do back in the day. It took me damn 6 months to muster up the courage to send her a single message. A single damn message. Now, visualize me, that young version of me when I was 13, 14 years old, and compare that to person B, to the other guy who, as soon as he meets the same girl, he's not gonna wait, because he knows he has nothing to wait for. And as soon as he gets the opportunity, walks up to her, asks her if she wants to meet up. Simple. And the best part about it is that even if this guy also gets rejected, that pain of rejection is not going to last as long as for the version of me who spent a whopping 6 months like waiting for nothing, waiting for the perfect moment. The right moment's never going to come. Trust me. By the time it's all going to be over, you'll look back at the story and you'll see at least 20 perfect moments. Stop waiting for it. You just visualize how much mental energy you would save yourself if you were to just find the opportunity. If you were to walk up to her and just ask her as soon as you can. As soon as you can, just get it over with. Get it over with. Just, I really want you to imagine how much mental fatigue this entire situation took up back then. How much mental energy I needed to sacrifice on that, and how much I ended up losing once she once it all didn't work out, blah blah blah. It's so significant that no wonder I was like hyper sad throughout that period. I was super sad, right? And I'm a very cheerful guy. Like, I smile a lot, I laugh a lot. It's not typical for me to walk around in a negative mood, but this is the period of time that I remember to be one of the most saddest, right? In terms of how I felt, right? Because damn, I'm stuttering. Now that I'm a little bit older and I'm able to zoom out and look at the entirety of it from a third person perspective, I can see that in reality, I wasn't going through anything super dramatic, but because I was so mentally sucked into this entire situation, I wasn't able to reflect on what's actually happening. And this is what I want you to remember from today's video. The 2 lessons: simply do not be desperate and be direct. Those 2 lessons are going to be a game changer towards how you actually express yourself around girls, the way you actually behave. Just please remember these 2. I know I broke the rule. For those who don't know, I have a promise to myself that I don't make any cuts in my videos, but I just came back from school, and as I was about to finish editing this video, it turns out that the camera fucking died mid-recording and it didn't capture the last few minutes, so here I am having to record a little bit of extra. But yeah, I hope you still found value in this video, and if you want some more of my content, make sure to click all these videos and click the subscribe button. Join the Discord server if you want to. You can talk to me and the tribe, so stay tuned for that. And I'm not gonna waste your time anymore, so please keep working, brother, and I'll see you in the next upload.